Today I want to be talking about teams, appreciation, all of those sorts of topics. You know, the reason why this comes about is I did some research a while ago about what it costs to turn over employees. What are the expenses associated with it? And when you look at a lot of business reports, especially if you look at like Harvard sort of business research, you see that one of the biggest expenses for businesses, aside from costs of goods, which in your guys' case would be chairs and buildings and such, aside from that, it's employee issues. And we all know that because we look at our income statements and we see that the largest percentage in a dental office is staff salaries. And what can we do to have a good, long-lasting team? And what's the perceived value to the patient of a long-lasting team? If they're always coming in and seeing a new hygienist, a new front desk, at some point it has them sitting back scratching their heads going, man, what's going on in this place that there's always a new person? So the challenge can be is, where does the accountability fall? And sadly, or rightfully, depending on your perspective, the accountability falls on us that are the leaders. And in two ways. One, that we need to make sure that we do a good job of selecting the right people from the beginning. And then two, that we do a good job of empowering them, showing them appreciation, keeping them in our office and growing them so they get satisfaction and enjoyment out of their jobs. And I think, at least from the feedback I'm hearing, that the issue is not the hiring of the person, that there's good people working in these offices. I think the issue that I'm hearing is that the doctors are stressed and having bad days and taking it out on the wrong people. I get it. I've had some personality defects in my time for sure. Probably still have a couple dozen. And so I understand that it's hard to look in that mirror and look at it and go, okay, perhaps I'm the challenge here. And it's a reality. If we have a lot of turnover, we either need to improve our interviewing and hiring skills, or we need to improve our retention skills, or both. And I've been guilty of all of these, certainly in my career as well. So I'm not sitting here teaching, you're being pious, telling you that you suck at it and you're doing it wrong, and I got all the answers, because I've learned the hard way. And so it's a reality, though, of what can we do to increase cooperation, and how can we give recognition to the team members for doing a good job. But I think what goes even further than taking your team on a shopping trip is if every single day you just say thank you. It's amazing what little cost there is involved in appreciation. You know, it's not the right answer to take it out on people. I think the best thing that you can do are those little things. So my question to all of you doctors out there is, are you doing more than giving a paycheck to your team? And if you're not, it's time to look in the mirror and say why. And then if you're not, is there resentment behind it? And are you afraid to be the person who's going to go first? The first person to say, thank you. Because if you're waiting for the team just to come to you out of nowhere and go, man, I love you, Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Darren, because you're just amazing to work for. I mean, you haven't said thank you in 6 years. And we haven't had a raise in 2 years. But man, I love working here. It's not going to happen. So it falls upon us as the leaders to be the big person, to humble ourselves, and to, even if it's a tough time, to go, you know, I'm so appreciative of all that you do for my patients, for our team, and I just want to say thank you. And I think if you do that, amazing things will happen to your business, because we need to make sure and remember to do this. It's like brushing and flossing, right? If I brush and floss once a week, what happens to my mouth? If I say thank you to my employees once a month, the same thing's going to happen. Decay is going to build up in the practice from a morale perspective. And it's important that we don't do that we take better care of our people and really engage in them emotionally. Make sure we're making deposits in them, because we're going to have a day where things are going to go sideways, and you're going to have to come to the team and say, hey, I need a hand here. There's a huge savings from a business perspective and appreciation. And I'm not trying to suggest, since your team's sitting there right there next to you watching this, that the only reason to do it is just for cost savings. But if you're not going to do it for any other reason, you should at least do it for just cost savings. I hope you do it because it comes out of your heart, because you care about these people, because you spend more time with your employees than you do with your family. It's amazing how much time you spend together. And it's like a second family. And if you're not saying thank you and I appreciate it, it's going to become an issue. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I look forward to seeing you next week, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful day. What if you could have the practice of your dreams? What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.